Antonio, what time is it in Portugal right now?
Early in the morning.
2:15 1:15
1:15
OK， 咁我咧就今日咧就好高興咧，就捉咗我個朋友 Antonio 咧，就喺葡萄牙嗰邊咧，唔俾佢瞓覺。而家係半夜凌晨1:15，好在咧就我唔係同佢做 Zoom 啦，如果咪真係見到佢着埋個睡衣上場 OK， 咁咧就真係，但係咧就最主要嚟講咧，葡萄牙係一個我哋好少講嘅地方，但係好多中國人同埋美國人都喺葡萄牙嗰度咧就買物業。第一好多時咧就係因為政治因素啦，係咪？因為佢哋有個 passport 啦，咁然之後咧就買物業可以攞個 passport 啦。咁呢個我哋中國人過去咧就都明白嘅。咁但係美國人又過去，咁啊點解會咁樣嘅情況咧？咁所以變咗咧今日咧就同大家咧就傾下，究竟係咪真係咁好去葡萄牙嗰度買個物業嚟到收租，係咪真係咁容易嘅事咧？咁樣樣。So Antonio。We have so much that we want to cover today with you. And first of all, let us know, in Portugal, what is the, popular area for Americans? I've heard that Americans and Chinese are the biggest international buyers there. Are they the only two, or who are buying in Portugal? 咁我就問Antonio 啦，究竟邊種外國人咧喺葡萄牙嗰度咧就買物業嘅咧 ？So please share with us.
Oh, sure, absolutely. Americans definitely, and Chinese, they're buying up Portugal, but there's other countries too, just like Brazil, Turkey, British, okay, Brits,
yep.
South Africans. And those are the top 5 countries or Europe citizens that do buy here. And they like, especially Americans, but in the general, and even the Brits or Nordics, okay, they love the warm weather in the south.
Okay.
And then the Americans love Cascais near outside of Lisbon. Those are very, and starting to grow because I think Americans, they're starting to discover Portugal. So it really, it's just been a whirlwind the last couple of years of people looking into Portugal. And what's important is that Portugal is very big. It's just not Lisbon and the Algarve. So
exactly.
They start to discover also now Porto. Okay?
Yes. Okay, so let me just explain, translate that. 咁咧，佢嘅意思咧就係話咧，乜嘢人啦，咩國籍嘅人咧就中意去葡萄牙咧，就係美國、華人、巴西、Turkey 土耳其、英國，仲有咧就係南非。咁呢個咧就係最主要幾個唔同嘅國籍嘅人咧就會去到葡萄牙嗰度。咁佢哋中意葡萄牙乜嘢咧？陽光與海灘真係靚到不得了。雖然我哋都真係好靚呢度 ，OK， 咁佢哋嗰度咧亦都係即係陽光與海灘咧就非常之好嘅。咁好多時咧最 popular 啦，即係大家最常去買嘅地方咧就叫做Lisbon 啦。OK， 咁而家咧就多咗一個咧就係popular 嘅，好多人咧就有興趣去嘅叫 Porto 啦。咁呢兩笪地方咧都係一般咧人咧就好中意咧就去嗰度買物業嘅。So when they buy, Antonio, when they buy there, do they mostly buy detached, semi-detached apartments? Are they buying second home or buying investment? Can I just quickly translate that to Chinese first, Cantonese first? 咁咧我就問佢啦，究竟啲人去嗰度咧就買咩？買 apartment 啦，獨立屋啊，或者即係好似我哋啲咁嘅孖屋啊，咁佢哋買嚟咧係做咩咧？做度假屋啊，定係買嚟真係投資咧 ？Okay, so please share with us, Antonio.
Sure. I would say that for the most part, okay, it's people moving here. Okay.
Oh.
And yeah, first it might start out as an investment property, but once you sample the culture and the people, and the food, the wine, of course, then it only makes more secure the investment because they see what's available, and for sure that then it's a consideration to move here. But for the most part, especially the foreign countries like China, for example, the Asian market, other markets, not so much the Americans, but they would buy to access to get the passport, okay, the citizenship and a passport through one of the tools, the golden visa. Okay, so primarily those foreign markets of those what I've mentioned, the top countries, is for the citizenship.
Oh, even the UK, US, Brazil, they all. I mean, I understand Brazil, Turkey, but it's kind of a little bit surprising about US and UK. But let me translate that first, OK？ 咁咧佢嘅意思咧就係初初咧啲人去到 Turkey 去到葡萄牙咧就係真係以嗰個 investment 咧投資咧個角度去睇嘅。點知咧去到之後咧睇到係哇美食啦，紅酒白酒啦。跟住咧，所有啲嘢咧都係又平喎，佢哋嗰度嗰啲物業指數咧就低喎，所以變咗咧睇下，誒，我不如去移民嗰度啦，即係有好多啲係移民嘅，咁佢尤其是咧中國嘅人移民過去嘅咧，係因為佢嗰度有嗰個叫 Golden Passport Golden Visa， 咁就係變咗咧就佢哋可以咧就快速咁樣咧就係移民過去喺嗰邊嚟到生活咁樣嘅 ，so now。When I talk about the visa, I mean, like, obviously, when people, they open the door, when country open the door, welcome all the foreign monies, is it like, how's the economy in Portugal right now? Because, sometimes in the different countries, they open the door differently. Like, for Canada, okay? We, like, 100% of our labor force is immigrants. And our doors wide open for immigrants. But it's not that because we have weak economies and stuff like that. But, we need more people because aging population. So what is happening in Portugal? Why do they open the door widely for the immigrants? Let me quickly translate that. 咁咧嗱，喺加拿大每一個國家咧，佢開大個移民嗰個門檻咧係好多唔同嘅因素嘅。加拿大咧根本就係人口老化啦。我哋全部嘅即係工作嗰啲人咧，勞動人口咧都係100%咧係移民人口嘅。咁我話啦，究竟咧喺葡萄牙咧點解啲個政府咧就開大個門口俾你嗰啲人去移民咧 ？So please share with us, Antonio.
Sure. Portugal, Tina, we were bankrupt in 2012. Okay, we had to get help from the International Monetary Fund. And Portugal created these tools, mechanism to bootstart the economy and just get it going because we have to be dependent ourselves. And so they created these tools for foreign investment, and it worked beautifully, and it continues to work beautifully because foreign investment is welcomed, it's needed, because we're in a social economy. And we got to remember that money's got to come from somewhere, and that's taxes, construction, licensing, investments, right? And because for us to live in this social economy, to have free, it's not free, but it's almost free, like in Canada, for example, the healthcare, education. So the foreign investment, for sure, and the Golden Visa program since 2012 definitely helped kickstart this economy here, and we've gotten ourselves out of debt. When you say about economy, even this Monday, Brussels, okay, the European Union, Portugal is the best in terms of growth for here in terms of numbers. We had projected the Prime Minister, and when they did the budget, it's every October, they planned a growth of like 4.9% here for Portugal.
For 2022?
And for 2022. And the European Union projects now, and for Portugal, Ireland is number 2, but over 5.4% in growth. It's the highest in Europe, okay? With Ireland coming in second. So the economy is strong in that sense because of all this. It's, of course, I mean, when you talk about the economy and the foreigners, they contribute. When they go buy bread in the market, when they go buy the basic necessities, and it's important to keep in mind that for us to have these social benefits, it's got to come from somewhere, and it came from this foreign investment.
Okay, let me just translate that one then. Okay, Great，thank you。嗱，佢嘅意思咧就係話，嗱，其實咧因為葡萄牙咧係一個社會主義國家，咁佢哋有好多啲嘢咧都係免費嘅，似我哋邊樣嘢咧就我哋嘅 health care 啦，我哋嘅medical 啊，即係睇醫生啊又唔使錢啊，即係咁樣樣。第一，第二咧讀書咧亦都係唔使錢嘅。咁佢哋2004年嘅時候咧，個國家咧就係宣布破產。咁你宣布破產嗰時，你點算啊？政府咧就出咗呢啲招數啦。咁咧就一定要引進啲外國嘅資金入嚟，令到咧葡萄牙可以繼續生存。咁喺2012年嘅時候咧，佢哋就有呢啲咁嘅passport golden visa 啦。咁然之後咧就可以咧就即係啲人咧就移民過去，令到葡萄牙而家咧就成為咧喺即係佢哋啱啱開完會啦，喺Brussels 嗰邊開完會嘅時候咧，葡萄牙咧係第一 number one。嗰個發展咧個 growth 咧係最大嘅。第二咧就係愛爾蘭 Ireland。咁所以變咗啲錢喺邊度嚟啊？如果你話睇醫生又唔使錢，讀書又唔使錢嗰啲錢喺邊度嚟啊？咁所以咧啲錢咧就係佢哋開大嗰個移民門咧，就吸引所有嘅外國嘅資金嚟葡萄牙咁樣樣嘅。So now let me check with you then. Will because for example, when you have so much foreign money going to Portugal, and then how is the housing market? Has it gone up like crazy? Because in Canada, obviously, we have a lot of complaints about foreign money. That's why our government recently banned foreign investors for 2 years. And U.S. continuously will have foreign monies, but their immigration, policy has really closed the door. And you're American yourself as well, right? You're American. So
yes,
share with us that how is the housing market has been inflated? Has the local people complained because, oh my God, it was X amount and now it's so much more, I cannot afford it. So let me translate that into Cantonese. 咁咧我就同佢講啦，所有嘅人咧，好坦白講一句，移民咧即係國家嗰陣時，有咁多錢入嚟梗好啦，但係咧嗰個好似我哋溫哥華咁樣樣啦，好多外國嘅錢嚟到嘅時候咧，就令到咧不嬲都話我哋中國人咧就炒高晒嗰啲房價物業啊嘛，咁佢哋嗰邊嘅咁多地方，唔係淨係中國人多啦，係啊美國。中國、巴西、土耳其、英國同埋南非都好多人去嗰度嘅時候，咁咪點算咧 ？So 佢啲嗰啲咩樓價突然間高漲咁多，本土人有冇喺度 complain 有冇投訴咧 ？So 我而家咧就想 ，OK，please Antonio share with us.
Yeah, I think most Portuguese are probably welcome the foreign investment, and they're happy to see foreigners are well received. Of course, property values have gone up, but it has to do also, property values here has to do with offer and the supply and demand, like anywhere else, right?
Mm-hmm.
There's a lot of demand. So naturally, and there's not that much inventory. And so naturally, prices are going to go up because of just that demand. And, when COVID hit, the things stopped here too. We're just recovering from that. Now you see a lot more construction going on, and a lot more inventory will be coming on the market. New builds, new licenses weren't issued, everything was stopped during that. So we're still recovering. Mm-hmm. And I think for the most part, Portuguese people, yes, they do complain because, they want to buy a home. Excuse me. And sometimes they can't afford a home for the prices that they are, but they couldn't afford those homes to begin with.
Okay.
I think, it would be very difficult, even in Lisbon, for example, before Golden Visa 10 years ago, 15 years ago, a two-bedroom apartment would go for maybe 250, 300,000 euros. Now that same two-bedroom apartment is 500,000 euros. But even then, 10 years ago, they probably could not afford that
250 and 300
of the minimum wage here and everything. And so they can live outside of the center of Lisbon, in the nuclear, where the urban rehabilitation areas are. There's a lot of other cities outside, the suburbs, and that's where people were living. But then you got to remember, and this is important, Lisbon 10 years ago was run down. It was derelict, old buildings. It was very nostalgic walking around in Lisbon and Porto. And foreign investment. You look now, beautiful buildings, developed hotels, boutique hotels, the condominiums, buildings have been renovated, and that's what attracts people. So when they come and they see a beautiful city, it's been just magically done and through this foreign investment.
Okay.
So I'm the one that
Okay, so let me translate that. 嗱，佢嘅意思咧就係話咧，喺當其時咧，我應該咁樣講啦，喺我哋嗰個commercial 翻嚟之後咧，我哋先至去做呢個翻譯俾大家聽，究竟咧個本土人咧有冇去 complain 啲樓價咁樣情況啦，我哋陣間再翻嚟傾。So right now we have to work with commercial because I completely forgotten about that because this is a live show. So I need to have commercial or else they will complain. And so after the commercial comes back, I will translate what Antonio you just told us into Cantonese first. And then we'll carry on. However, during this commercial time, I don't have to translate. So live, Facebook Live is still carry on. So, Antonio, I want to ask you that. So, what does people, investors or second home, buyers like? Let's put it this way: investors, what do they normally buy? Condo, detached. What do they usually buy?
Condos is probably the easiest to make that investment because it's
price is low.
Easier to manage.
Okay.
And then also semi-attached homes and villas. Okay, villas are mostly for second homes, holiday homes.
Yeah.
Which is also can be an investment if you're going to be renting it out and you want to create a cash flow or a return on investment. Of course, probably in the Algarve makes more sense. That's the most touristy part of Portugal. Beautiful beaches, the warmer weather. And I think it's probably where most people, when they choose a holiday destination to go to the beach, it's definitely the Algarve of Portugal, And so, but I would say apartments is definitely in condos, even sectors now. We have two big sectors that are industries that are very, very sound where people are looking to invest in Portugal.
So we're coming back from the commercials and then we carry on. So let me translate that after the commercial. 歡迎大家返到嚟5月21號投資金業，我係 Tina 文華。咁今日咧就好高興咧，就請到咧我一個好朋友咧喺葡萄牙咧就同我哋去分享一下葡萄牙嗰個地產情況嘅。咁頭先咧喺嗰個即係 commercial 之前咧就我哋講到啦，究竟咧啲人咧就買邊度咧？咁又幾多錢咧？係咪有冇升值咗幾多咧？咁佢話咧就嗱，而家咧就譬如話佢話10年前咧即係我頭先問啊嘛，究竟本土人咧又有冇 complain 啊？因為咁多外國人嘅錢嘛，佢話咧本土人 complain 咧，即係投訴咧，呢個係一個正常嘅事嚟嘅。咁但係最主要嚟講就係話，如果冇外國資金，10年前嘅 Lisbon 咧就全部都係舊嘅大廈、舊嘅酒店，因為有外國嘅資金咧，所有而家咧就變咗全部都可以去重新去裝修啦。舊嘅 building 咧就會變咗新嘅 building 啦。咁佢話啦，10年至15年前咧，一個喺 Lisbon 嘅 two bedrooms 兩房咧就大概25萬到30萬歐元嘅，但係而家咧。就咧大概就50萬歐元，咁佢就話啦，佢就算係15年前嘅時候咧，個本土人咧，佢哋都係買唔起嗰個25萬到30萬歐元嘅兩房嘅公寓嘅，咁所以變咗無可否認咧，本土人咧係當然係希望買到，但係佢點樣嘅情況之下咧，嗰個外國嘅資金咧，始終都係對葡萄牙咧整個國家嘅經濟咧係嗰個益處咧係大利多於弊嘅。另外一樣嘢最主要咧就係個供求問題啦，個求係過於供，同我哋一樣，咁所以變咗咧呢個就係咁樣啦。So I want to come back because we talk about the price. So can you just give us a general feel that what kind of appreciation per year, like in the last, don't say too long. I understand you said Lisbon was like €250 to 300, for 2 bedrooms, and today is about 500. It's like double, okay? So that is like 10-15 years. So can you roughly tell me, like, is it like 5%, 20%? Like Vancouver is crazy, can be like 25% per year. So what kind of capital appreciation per year. Let me just translate that quickly. 我而家就想知道佢每年嗰個增長咧個升值潛能咧係有幾多嘅。So Antonio, please share with us.
Sure. Tina, in terms of property values, probably on a national level, but it's you guys. We're talking about like probably the prime areas, and that's where people look stable markets, mature markets. So you're talking about Lisbon, you're talking about even Porto and the Algarve, but especially Lisbon. And to give you an idea, in Lisbon, in the center, in the few parishes within the city, in the old square, the older town, you're looking at values from anywhere from 5,000 euros a square meter, which is something like 6,800 Canadian dollars, right? So 5,000 euros to high up
per square meter. So how would this work for the square feet? My calculation doesn't work that fast.
Well, one square. Okay, for example, like 100 meters is 1,000 square feet. So if you're looking at like an apartment, 100 square meters. Okay.
Yeah.
Now 100 square, which is 1,000.
Which is 1,000. Yes.
You're going to pay 500,000 euros, roughly around there.
Oh, okay, so $500. Yeah. Okay. Good. So, thank you for my friends Rod to talk about approximately 10 to 1. So I know how to do the calculation square meters to square feet, but it's like price per square footage, and that's what we get used to it in the North America. 咁咧就我想同大家嘅分享咧就係話咧，佢大概咧以前嚟講咧就50嗱，而家講緊50萬歐元嘅時候咧，就大概係1000尺左右。咁你而家咁嘅情況之下咧，大概係500蚊一尺左右嘅嘢嚟嘅。OK， 500蚊左右。咁so back to the capital appreciation. Roughly, can you tell us roughly what kind of appreciation or not appreciated or flat, can you share with us?
Sure. The average, well, in general, from year on year, and this is from the National Institute of Statistics, it's public record, so if you go, you can see, as a national average, property values here in Portugal have increased at a national, okay? Because there's areas like Lisbon, Porto.
Yes.
Those are high above. But on a national average, per year, we're looking at anywhere close to 10%, 12% increase, okay, from year to year on year.
Yeah.
And there's some cities have increased 20%, 22%. Cities like Faro, for example, cities other in the urban areas have increased up well above that. So on the national average, we're talking an increase of roughly 10%. Of course, Lisbon has saw prices increase well over 30%,
wow.
And so those are, you wouldn't compare it, on a national average, but it's grown, and that's because of the people that are wanting to live there in Lisbon, in Porto, big mature markets.
Great. So let me share that percentage with my Chinese listener. 佢話咧就如果以國家嗰個整體嚟計咧，即係好似我哋加拿大地產局咧都會講整個加拿大咧究竟係每年增長幾多咧？咁葡萄牙咧每年增長咧就大概10到12%。如果係城市區嘅時候咧就去到20到22%。咁如果譬如話佢哋我哋最出名嘅 Lisbon 嗰個地方咧就甚至去到30%。咁所以咧都幾都幾可觀嘅咁樣樣。So let me just go back. Let's change the subject to mortgage. Because as an investors, we want to go there and try not to pay all cash if possible. Okay, so we want to get mortgage. Can you tell us minimum? What kind of a down payment? Is it easy? How difficult? What is the procedures for foreigners to get a mortgage? What do like that kind of stuff? 咁咧就let me translate that. 我就想同佢啦，我哋投資咁啊，梗係想用銀行嘅錢啦。咁我話啦，最少嘅首期係幾多咧？跟住咧佢嗰個究竟嗰個貸款嗰個方唔方便咧？利息係點樣樣咧？ What kind of interest rate? Interest rate is going up because of inflation. Can you share with us, please?
Sure. As when you're doing the exchange of contracts, okay, generally, but that's also negotiable. But generally speaking, you would give a 10% down payment, and then you would have up to 60, 90 days or more. That's also negotiable to complete the transaction. So as you would say in Canada, in the U.S., the exchange of contracts, not the earnest deposit. Earnest deposit is just a deposit that counts towards the down payment. The down payment, 10%. Any foreign buyer can get a loan up to. We've been getting now 70%. Before was a number 60% LTV, loan to value ratio. Now we've been getting up to 70%, and it does make sense for foreign buyers right now. For the next 2 years, 3 years, interest rates have started to go up, Tina, here as well, but it's still like at a little 3%, 3.25%, etc. So they will be going up. That I have no doubt. But it makes sense for a foreign buyer to use not to use their own capital. So they can get, they're buying a 1 million, €500,000 property. The bank is going to loan them 350,000. They're just responsible for they have to have their own capital, 150,000.
So basically, it's 30% down payment. So the banks will loan you 70%.
Exactly.
Okay,
exactly.
So let me
and
just
in the exchange of contract.
Yeah.
In the exchange of contract, when you do the initial contract to before closing, you only need 10% down at that time.
Got it. Okay, let me translate that. Then we have to go to commercial again. 咁咧，佢最主要嚟講咧，銀行可以借70%。OK， 落嗰個 deposit 咧就大概10%。總之你自己要預咗30%嚟到做首期。咁啊利息方面咧就係3%到3.5%左右。咁啊起息咧就全部都有噶啦。你大概咧就可以60到90日之內先至去成交都冇問題嘅。So let's go to the commercial and then come back to our last sections afterwards. Okay, so let's carry on because Facebook Live do not stop for commercial. Okay, that's the beauty of it. So
unless you want to plug my trade mission, that's
well, I cannot do that. That's the problem. we can do. Yeah.
I mean, I'll pay if it's cheap. I'll pay. No
Too late. Too late. But you can definitely put it on my Facebook page because right now we have Facebook page. Then you can put it on there. So, but then I cannot do that here, unfortunately. So anyway, when it comes to the process, is it very complicated for foreigners? When it comes to buying process, is it complicated? Can you quickly share before commercial finish?
Sure. No, it's simple. I mean, it's the simplicity of it. You need a tax ID number. You need a bank account. If you're opening up a company, you want to buy using a company name. You set up a company. It's rather quickly. We have a lot of bureaucratic stuff as well, but not doing the purchase of a property. It's very, very simple. And even then, registering everything, it's simple.
It's coming back. Interest rate 3 to 3.5%, Rod.
Right now.
OK， so 歡迎大家翻嚟5月21號投資更業，我係文文華，今日咧就同大家咧係請到我個好朋友，而家係凌晨差唔多2點鐘啦，喺葡萄牙咧就同我哋分享一下關於葡萄牙嗰個投資嗰個情況嘅。咁咧就好啦，我哋繼續講啦，就係即係問下佢咧係咪買物業嘅時候咧有幾複雜咧？咁佢話佢係唔係複雜嘅，咁然之因為佢哋想要外國人嘅錢嘅時候咧，佢哋唔會搞到啲嘢太過複雜嘅。咁即係嗱最緊要咧就要有一個稅務上面嘅 ID 啦，再加埋咧就要有開個銀行戶口啦。另外咧就如果你用公司名嘅時候咧，咁你要有公司名啊，即係做晒呢啲咁嘅程序啦，咁樣係咪？咁所以變咗所有呢啲嘢咧都唔係話即係太過複雜嘅。咁但係咧我就想翻嚟咧就同大家最後講一講咧，就係關於嗰個租務嘅情況啦。佢唔交租點算啊？係咪？咁我點樣追啊？咁究竟嗰度啲人咧就我哋最怕呢樣嘢啊嘛，係咪？咁如果我請嗰啲咁嘅物業管理複唔複雜啊？即係我而家咧就想同大家去分享呢樣嘢啦。So the last part I want to talk about is rental regulation. What if they don't pay rent? How much is the rental's property manager? Because obviously we're not living there, so we need to have someone to look after us. What if they have damages, like they, everybody have crazy party, they drinking and all that, and they punch a hole here and that kind of stuff. What is going to happen? So can you share with us, please?
Sure. If they're having a crazy party, I want to be there. That's for sure. And so there's a security deposit. Okay, you know when you're renting an apartment or a home, you're renting a property, you're going to need a security deposit.
How much?
It's generally at 2 months. Some property owners, they will also demand co-signers. Okay.
Oh, okay.
So, yeah, and for a foreigner to overpass that because they may not have a co-signer, then the property owner will say, well, you have an additional month of security deposit.
So that will comes to 3 months?
Three. So basically you're paying the first month and second month, okay? So you're only going to start paying the third month, and you're leaving 3 security deposits. So you need 5 monthly payments, right? Month payments.
Wow.
Month rent. Yeah. So and that's even for and then for a Portuguese or even foreigner, it's just showing the proof of income. Of course, whether you're retired or pensioner, etc., you do have to show proof of income. But in most cases, having a co-signer. What happens is that the contract has to get registered in the finance office, so you're protected. Okay, so not only the law does protect the tenants at this moment.
All the time.
Some legislation, yes. Even for example, like the property owner, we had big issues because of people were they would have a rent paying something like 100 euros a month, but they've been living there for 30, 40 years. So a few years ago, they did regularize the rents were regulated. So even X amount, there's certain terms. Even when, for example, when someone has, just say that they're 1 year. Instead of saying, you're doing a 6-year lease agreement, you have to complete 1/3 of it, or a 3-year lease agreement, completing 1. Most property owners would want somebody to stay there for a longer term, But in terms of getting them out, or just throw them out, you can't throw them out the window, unfortunately. So you have to go through the legal process. But you have those security deposits also for damage or anything. And so the property owners now, because of the lack of inventory on properties, they're very, very selective. You got to have all the, and again, maybe because of the foreign that choose Portugal to live here, but even Portuguese people, they need to get all their information. They have it. And if they don't have it, the property owner is not going to rent it.
Okay, let me translate. Great. So 嗱，佢嘅意思咧就係話咩咧？一定要有嗰security deposit， 即係好似我哋嘅 damage deposit 啦，同埋咧佢哋要求咧就有一個即係好似我哋嘅所謂嘅即係擔保人咁樣啦。咁嗱喺嗰度租咧就唔平喎，你至少咧要有5個月嘅租金嘅現金咧，然之後咧你先至會係被接納嘅喎。咁再加埋咧你嗰個租約咧就會喺嗰個即係銀行嗰啲 financial office 嗰度咧，即係呢啲銀行即係資金公司咧咁樣公司嗰度咧就要去register 嘅。OK， 咁然之後咧，再加埋咧就係嗰個政府嗰個法例咧，梗係保障嗰個租客啦，呢個正常嘅，全世界都係保障佢哋噶啦。咁所以呢個咧就係冇辦法噶啦。咁但係咧，如果佢哋話真唔走嘅時候咧，就我哋會驚呢樣嘢啦，因為佢話咧唔係咁容易咧就踢走佢嘅。OK， 咁一定要從嗰個法律嘅途徑咧，然之後咧先至可以叫走佢嘅。咁嘅情況之下咧，就即係但係咧，因為你有嗰個5個月 ，OK， 5個月嗰個租金咧喺你嘅手上面嘅時候咧，咁即係變咗咧，你都有啲即係你有個有本事啊 ，OK， 有本錢啊，即係唔怕話即係冇咗一啲租金啊，或者蝕咗幾耐啊咁樣咯。咁嗰度啲租客咧，或者嗰度嘅 property manager 咧，嗰啲咁嘅物業管理咧。就希望咧，你係可以簽長租嘅，即係有啲咧就3年嘅租約啦、6年嘅租約啦，都係咁樣樣。咁如果你租完之後，即係佢至少咧嗰個租客一定要咧滿足到1/3嗰個時間咧，然之後咧先至係可以即係俾佢去走咁樣樣嘅。咁呢個咧就係佢哋嘅情況啦。So let me just also ask you, what kind of a property management fee that they're charging? How do they charge? Like 10%, 5%, 7%? What kind of a fee, please?
The condominium fees, you talk about the homeowner.
No. I'm not talking about HOA. I'm talking about property, like I don't live there, I buy there, I need a property manager to manage it for me. Yeah, that kind. How much? What is the percentage?
It's close to 20%.
Wow. I was asking 10% or 5%. We are spoiled in North America, man. 20%. That's a good business, man.
It depends on also. We also do property management, but it depends on the amount. If you have just one property, managing the property, maintaining it, making sure the grass is cut, the pool is clean, it's always ready conditions to move in. Any new someone, because we could do short term. We do some short term rentals, mid term, long term. So in that market there, you're talking about in that property management. In the short-term market, it is 20%.
Yeah, I understand when it's like Airbnb, you have a lot of more things to do. But what if it's like a long-term thing?
No, in long term, you're looking at it's not even 10%, 8%, 10%.
Okay, that makes sense. Oh, I almost fell off my chairs in the studio. So, okay， 佢嘅意思咧就即係話咧，如果你係做好似 Airbnb 嗰啲短租咧，咁啊大概20%，咁我都明白嘅。咁但係咧，如果你係真係長租客咁樣嘅時候咧，佢哋大概係8%嘅啫。So we have about 2.5 minutes to go. So, we want to ask about the thing is that. What is the outlook? Why do, give me a 5 takeaway points. Why do we, all the way from here, wants to go to buy in Portugal? 我而家問佢啦，俾個5點，點解我得返2分鐘啫？點解我哋要去葡萄牙嗰度做投資呢？ Yes.
Okay, I can give you over 100 reasons, Tina.
Okay, no, I don't have time.
I'll be quick. In 1 minute, I need 1 minute, and then 1 minute to translate.
That's right.
Number one is climate. Portugal has over 3,300 hours of sunshine per year, one of the highest rates in Europe. You want to translate that, or you want to keep going?
No. Let me translate that. 佢第一點佢可以講100點，我冇咁多時間。第一點咧就係氣候，喺葡萄牙有3300個小時係陽光，所以咧係全個歐洲最多陽光嘅地方。Okay, number two.
Number two is satisfaction. Once you sample the culture, the people, the wine, the food, 80% of the people who visit Portugal year after year do come back, and some make it their home, some invest here because they know it's safe, and that's what they want.
Okay. 第二點咧就係滿足感啊！點解咧？去到嗰度咧，啲文化啦、食嘢啦、飲酒啦，同埋咧就好安全啦，所以令到咧有好多人咧就唔係淨係想去投資，直情係講緊去移民嗰邊添。Okay, number three.
Number three is values, prices. In comparison to other European markets, it's affordably priced.
OK， 第三咧就係銀紙啦，即係我哋所謂嘅可負擔能力啦。喺全個歐洲嚟講咧，葡萄牙咧係最低嘅，咁所以咧就嗰個係抵咯嘅意思咯，係咪？第四 ，number four.
Number four is the easiness of the visa process through Golden Visa, D7 Visa, and our favorite. You can take advantage of tax exemption for 10 years. It's called the non-habitual resident status. It's a special tax regime that somebody declares Portugal as their home. They benefit for 10 years tax exemption. So
they don't have to pay capital gain for 10 years if they have Portugal as their home?
Passive income. Passive income.
Passive income.
Okay. You're getting from pensions, from rental properties, funds, etc. You don't pay any of that income. You have to pay income producing if you're working and stuff. That's something else. But definitely, the visa processes to get into Portugal, to live in Portugal, and the tax benefits.
Okay, I gotta go on because we have one more point. 咁咧佢意思咧就係用 visa 入去啦。OK， 咁如果你做咗去嗰邊嘅喺嗰邊住得耐啲嘅時候咧，佢可以咧，譬如話你係有租金收入嘅咧，佢可以免你10年嘅嗰個稅務嗰個即係因為你嗰啲錢咧係由個租金得到嚟嘅 income 咧，所以咧你如果喺嗰度係可以有住得到嘅時候咧，佢可以免你10年嘅。Number 5, the last one, we gotta go on.
Number 5, normally I probably should have said this first, but it's safety.
Okay.
Portugal 2022 is the 4th safest country in the world. This is not an opinion, this is a fact.
Okay.
By the Global Peace Index.
Okay, got it right.
And we're fully open to COVID.
Okay, 2022年葡萄牙咧就係全世界裏邊咧係喺歐洲尤其是咧係一個非常之安全嘅國家。咁今日咧我好多謝咧 Antonio 咧就喺Portugal 嗰度咧葡萄牙都唔瞓覺都同我哋傾咗咁多偈。咁啊下一次咧就係再同大家咧去再講其他啲嘅資訊。Bye。